Flo, my motherfucking brother, man. You know I had to come tap in. Washing the Mozzie. About to get the Mozzie cleaned up. Hey Flo, I'm about to take a little walk real quick. I'll be right back. You want something from the store? I'll be right back. Huh? Yeah. It's in there. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back like I said I would. Flint, Michigan, baby. Y'all walk with me down North Saginaw. That's my partner's car wash right here. Jay Flows. I grew up with him. That's my brother. Been knowing him since like the kindergarten. I'll be right back. You want something from the store?
No thanks. Thank you.
You are. All right, guys. So I got a little story to tell, like I told y'all. A little story time going on. It's deep. It's really deep. I might not go all the way into it. I think I might do parts because it's that deep. You know what I mean? And I never really shared this with nobody outside of like immediate family and friends, you know. I never aired it all the way out. So this would be my first time ever doing this. And it's kind of deep, man. So, had to been, 2006, I got into General Motors. I got into GM 2006. That was almost 20 years ago. Boom, I get in there through a referral. They had a referral system at the time. My ex-wife, auntie, got us the referral. She was pregnant at the time. She was about to drop the baby any day, so she couldn't take advantage of the referral. So, you know, but her auntie was like, yeah, the referral for y'all, you know. So, I'm thinking, oh yeah, this for us. You know, that's how I was thinking, you know. Come to find out later, they resented me being in there in the first place. But that's neither here nor there. Point of it is I got into General Motors. You know, the pay at that time, it wasn't the best. Like, it wasn't what traditional GM workers get. They called it Tier 2, which we topped out at $18 an hour. So after 5 years of being in there, 2011, I got her a referral. I gave her my referral. Gave my wife my referral. So we both in there working. So, you know, she got in there. Everything was smooth at first. Everything was smooth. Like, we were literally, you know, we're going to work. We had 3 young kids. So she worked second, I worked first. And that's pretty much how we did it to save on daycare. We didn't really have too many people to help us with our kids on a daily basis. So we did what we had to do. You know, her mother or siblings, they would watch them maybe for like an hour with the overlap because we worked at the same plant. So the 30 minutes before she had to be to work and the 30 minutes after I got off would be like that 1 hour. And we always, you know, go pick them right up. So it wasn't ever no bull crap, you know. So you can always depend on these people. So that was smooth. You know, we had a nice little system working. So gets her in there. She in there working good. I'm working good. We working good. Little stuff, but stuff had been going on, like as far as like how she managed her money. She never was good at managing her money. But I wasn't tripping, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? Because we was living in my parents' house. My parents left me a house, me and my brother a house. Then my brother moved to Louisiana, to Shreveport, which left me the house by myself up here in Michigan. So I lived in the house and moved my family in. So we didn't have no rent really. You know, we paid my parents $200 a month, which was like nothing. So we didn't really have no bills, to be honest. Like nothing substantial. Altogether, our bills was less than $1,000 a month. All our bills. You know, this is before cell phones and shit. But so we in there working, man. You know, just making it do what it do. Now, this is kind of like the part where I might cut it off because I gotta backtrack a little bit before I get all off into this shit. Because I was not a perfect husband by any means. I was not a perfect husband. Like I was actually a dog. But you know, when your wife not fucking you, you know what I'm saying? When you not getting no sex from your wife, like you married, that's a problem, right? But there was a lot that went into that. Because I was in the studio all the time, all night long. I had a studio in the basement. So I used to be in the basement, recording, making music. What's 1+1? So I'll be in the studio making music all night long, right? So I used to smoke cigarettes and drink beer at the time. So I'd be stanking and shit. You know what I mean? So backtracking, looking back on the shit, I can kind of see why she wasn't really fucking with me. Like I come get in the bed smelling like cigarettes, but that's neither here nor there, because you know I'm there taking care of my kids. I'm being a good father, right? I just was not the best man. So, but regardless of that, we had been together up to that point, 2011. We had been together like 14, 15 years. So, you know, you would think, you know, you ain't gotta necessarily worry about certain shit with your other half, you know, at that point, right? Because I was pretty much getting to the place where I was, you know, pretty much, you know, I don't know, man. I was just like trying to zero in and started growing up because I ain't really have my parents up here in Michigan. I ain't really have nobody up here, man. And I was kind of depressed going through that shit. And I was acting out. It ain't no excuse. The point of it is we was going through a lot of different things with me before she even got in the plant. So that's kind of like where I'm in this right now. I'm gonna come back to this and then give y'all part two.